begin the mummification process, I'm going to get some nice smelling oils and wipe it over the corpse. Okay. Now, so we're going to wipe it over the face of the corpse. Simply because, why not? Gonna get a little more for the arms and the neck. And now for the shoulders. And now down the arms. Now, I'm going to be using a linen cloth to wipe the corpse down. Back to your shoulders again. And now for your arms. Now for your other arm. And there you go. Now we're going to be removing your organs, and then I'm going to be wrapping them in linen cloth, putting them in a substance called natron, and putting them in canopy jars where you'll take them with you to the afterlife. So, to make just a small incision in the left side of your abdomen. Oh, my oils. I'm going to collect my canopy jars. natron. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now to feel for your organs, these would include your lungs, intestines, stomach, I believe, pancreas maybe? Basically all your internal organs. I'm going to be putting them in the canopy jars. So, organ number 1. Actually, let me just remove the natron, I moved too fast. I'm going to be wrapping them in cloth. As such, and then putting them in the jars. So that's organ number 1 down. Organ number 2. And then let me feel for your other. Okay, there we go. Organs. Wrap this around in cloth. Organ number 3, although there's a little bit of blood right there, but organ number 3. Simply going to put that in the canopy jar. And now for the last organs, or last set of organs, or last organ. Yeah, I'm new on the job. Okay, so let me just feel for it. There we go. Let me simply wrap this around in cloth again. And there you go, your last organ. Putting that in the canopy jar. Don't forget the organs when you go to the afterlife. They're going to be needing that when you end up visiting over there. You know, parts of your soul is going to be transferred over to, one is going to be transferred over to a work field for Osiris. The other 2, your personality and, I forgot what the other one. Your soul gets transferred over to Osiris, I believe. Your personality and your, I forgot what it was called, get transferred back over to the judges circle, where you're going to get judged in front of 14 judges over how good of a person you were during your lifetime, or how heavy your heart is with evil deeds. Now, if you don't mind, I'm simply going to be just stirring your brain now, because you don't need that. All of your thoughts and emotions are inside of your heart, which I still left in there, because you're going to be needing it at the judges circle. Okay, next step. We're going to be covering your body in natron. So, I'm simply going to be putting all this natron in this cup. And I'm going to be grabbing from it so I can put it onto your corpse. I think I have some mental issues because I'm talking to the corpse, but at the same time, during medical school, that was the only people that I could talk to because I was so busy studying. Okay, I think that should be good. Just covering the body with natron. Even though this should be done where I directly put the natron onto your body, but we're suffering some tough economic times here in Egypt. We're not going to be just using natron just like that. It's the Grecian Empire. The Grecian Empire conquered us again, or not again, but they conquered us along with a bunch of other empires via Alexander the Great. And then they ended up descending. The Egyptians now are basically Italian because, you know, the Ptolemies, which include Cleopatra, are more Macedonian than any are Macedonian. They're not more, they are Macedonian. But despite that fact, we have retained our Egyptian culture, but the Romans keep screwing us over because they're like, hey, how about we focus on the aesthetics of things? And I'm like, no, how about we focus on the practicality of things? Because if we don't mummify the body correctly, then they're not going to be able to get a chance to go into the field of the sun. Because they're not mummified correctly, so thus they can't really get access to the afterlife. But no, I'm always voted down. And then now we're just focusing on keeping the mummy pretty by putting jewels and luxuries around it instead of, you know, focusing on preserving the corpse itself. Anyways, why am I telling you this? You're a corpse. To sprinkle more salt over your corpse. There we go. Why is my head thing always skewing? Stop doing that. That rhymed. Oh god. Or rather, Anubis. He's the one who oversees the mummification process. He's the one who helps the corpse, or the soul rather, go into the afterlife. And he's present during the judging of someone's heart being deemed worthy to be allowed into the, you know, to be with Osiris rather than simply doomed to oblivion. The way that process works is that in front of 14 judges, your heart is taken and it's put into a canopy jar by the gods themselves, not us. That's why we don't remove your heart. And then it's placed on a weight, along with a feather of a headdress of a goddess. And the feather is put on the other scale. Your heart is put on the other scale, and if your heart weighs less than the feather, then you get to live with Osiris, because that means that your heart hasn't been weighed down by any evil deed. However, if your heart is heavier than the feather, then you don't get a shot with Osiris because you've been deemed too unrighteous to move along, and the demon Amut ends up eating your heart, which is a deity with the figure of a crocodile for a head, a hippo for a torso, the legs of a lion, and something else. I don't know. The afterlife wasn't my major in college. What is a college? I don't know. The Greeks made up the term, really. They were the ones who created universities. It's been a while, but still. What's a college? So, I'm gonna keep spraying this natron all over you, just so that way it absorbs all of your fluids, so that way it doesn't decompose you. Not to mention the fact that you're gonna be put out into the desert sand, and that's also gonna dry out all fluids and moisture from your body, or your corpse rather. And you're gonna look fabulous. Gotta get that away. Now just a little more for your face. We want to make sure that all the moisture there is gone. Now I'm going to be taking this wrapping and I'm going to be putting it all over you to keep all of that nitron and oil in place. Yeah, usually we would also use resin. I think that's what it's called, or what it used to be called, to cover your body as well, to keep it, you know, to stick the wrapping onto it very easily, and also to keep you even more preserved. However, once more, tough economic times plus focus on beauty or aesthetics, and it's like we used to do mummifications perfectly within 70 days, including the 40-day waiting period of having you get dried and whatnot. Now it's like, okay, it's decent, but not that great. Our mummies are not going to last as long as the ancient ones. Now, I'm simply going to be wrapping this around you, so it's sticky. It's simply gonna be, here we go. Okay. Now that you're all dried out from all of your natural oils, I'm going to be stuffing you with some linen as such. So I'm going to be just recarving in that incision that I made, which is actually really dry right now, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But I'm going to be cutting that open again, and I'm going to be stuffing you with some linen all over your corpse, or all inside your corpse, because that's how it gives you the human form. Inside your shoulders. Okay. Well, you're all stuffed like an animal. So, let me see what the next step is. Okay. Now I'm going to be recovering you with these bandages and then rubbing you down with some oils again. And then I'm going to be just putting some jewels all over your corpse, like really like expensive jewels, like gorgeous jewels. That's probably going to be the most important now part of the process. And then I'm going to be putting your photo on top of your face so that people know who you are, even though no one's going to care in the next 1,000 years. And I'm going to be putting your canopy jars around you, giving you the Book of the Dead, so that way you know where to go. Once you're in the afterlife, you're gonna have to remember your spells and whatnot to recite it over there. And also your heart is still in your chest, so it's not like you're gonna leave without that. And then I'll put a bird on top of your chest, so that way, you know, it'll just help you somehow. I don't know. We have some strange practices sometimes. There we go. There we go. And I'm simply going to be redressing you again. Stop shaking so much. God, corpses aren't supposed to move. There we go. Well, I mean, they're allowed to move in the afterlife, but not right now. God, calm down. Just calm down. Okay. There we go. Now, let me simply redress your face a little.